Part of Helen's celebration tonight of the beginning of her campaign, beginning of the campaign for all of us. Look, this has been an incredible 3 years. We've got to this point. We've had the amazing leadership of Jacinda Ardern, who's not only sort of led us through various crises, not the least of which is the pandemic, but she's worked to hold three parties together. And look, you don't have to look around much in the last couple of days to see that at least one of them is a handful. All that's happening is that some of the behaviour that we used to just being made public now. So she's done an astounding job, and actually our track record on that last 3 years has been pretty darn good actually, and capped off today, or last night, 1 minute to midnight, with the passing of the new pay equity legislation. A huge difference to so many people, but there's other progressive legislation as well too, and we had the legislation taking abortion out of the Crimes Act. We've had good economic policy before we even got to COVID-19, a $12 billion infrastructure plan announced at the end of last year. This is all good stuff. This is about nation building. And if there's one thing that Jacinda Ardern stands for, and this government has stood for, the Labour Party has stood for, it is actually doing the hard stuff that builds a nation. But we're in a race right now, and it's an incredible race because of what has happened in the last few months. The message from so many New Zealanders is so overwhelming, and that is, at the time when we needed you most, you kept us safe. You kept us safe. And New Zealand now stands head and shoulders above the rest of the world in what we are able to do because of the way we responded to COVID-19. Everybody played their part. Everybody did their bit, and New Zealand is a safe place as a result. We get to do stuff that very few people in other countries around the world get to do. That's what leadership looks like, but not just any old kind of style of leadership. It's about leadership of people for people, and caring about people, and caring about the country and the community that we are. And that's what Jacinda Ardern has led. Part of the race that we've got is here in Auckland Central, and it's opened up because the incumbent MP has decided to move on, and there is now an opportunity for Labour through Helen White as our candidate to get that message about what we stand for. And we have in Helen White a candidate of very, very deeply felt, deeply held values. They are Labour values. I've known Helen for quite a few years. My first contact was when I was at the EPMU. We had a major piece of litigation that we were about to embark on. It was actually about workplace alcohol and drug testing. And we had a lawyer who fell very, very sick only weeks before the case was due to go to court. And we got Helen in. I don't think she knew she was going to be taking that case on. We got her into the union as a union solicitor, and she picked up that case. And she did a phenomenal job, because the other thing that, as it turned out, is that not all of the preparation that was needed for the case has been done. And Helen, I don't know where it came from, but Helen dug deep. I don't know how many hours you would have put into that in that short space of time. But she did. I know you freaked out because you ran to tell me you were freaking out. And I said you could do it, and you did do it, and you led that case. It was several days in the employment court. It was tough. It were important issues, and we got an interesting result. What it led to was an amazing agreement between ourselves and in New Zealand on what was at that time, and probably remains to this day, the most progressive workplace alcohol and drug policy that you could want for, and that was down to Helen as well. So I know what Helen is capable of. I know what her values are. I know what drives her, and I know what she can do. And she is somebody who we need in the Labour caucus. And we've got excellent people in the Labour caucus. We need more. We're going to get more, and we want one of them to be Helen White. But she's not just good for Labour and the Labour caucus, she'll be good for Auckland Central as well. Because and I've lived in the electorate. Admittedly, it was the 1990s, which seems like a lifetime ago. But I don't think Auckland's changed that much since then. say there's some more buildings and there's some more
Few more
roads.
wings.
And if National gets their way, there'll be even more roads, because that's the only thing they've got left to promise anymore. More roads. But it's an electorate that wants, you know, good thinkers, hard workers, good, practical, pragmatic, values-driven people representing them. That's what Auckland Central is. And that's what Helen White is. And Helen White is going to be a fantastic candidate, but above all, she's going to be a fantastic MP for Auckland Central. Go well, Helen. Best wishes. To all of you, getting behind Helen. We can do this. Helen worked so hard in 2017, she got that close, and with the effort and the wind in our sails, in the city of sails, as they call it, we can do an amazing job here. And Helen, I know you're going to do a terrific job. Best wishes.
Kia ora.